Every time I saw Erik, I wanted to smile. You know, there was something about him that he had a presence about him. He always was seeing something, that the other people weren't seeing, And it was like you were supposed to be seeing it, but he was seeing it, and he had that little mischievous grin all the time, I would talk to him about anything like this soul map we were working on, and I had my first little conceptual map out, and I handed it to him, and I said, hey, this is what I'm working on. It's how our soul's conflicted, and we're in hurt states. And it was lame, it was what I had come up with, and he had that little smirk and goes, yeah, I think I could do a little something with that. About how to make it animated, how to make it deeper and richer, how to, make the dark and the bad look a lot worse than it is, and how to make the light just pop and be so brilliant and bright. And that's just the kind of dude he was. He just saw stuff and experienced stuff because he had that soul about him. It showed up all the time, even when he was in jail. I was loving to hear the stories about how irrepressible his creativeness is, and that in jail he got this sort of reputation for being creative and artistic. The other thing that was just incredible, he made a reference to the family about a Christmas present that he made. He referred to it as your/my Christmas present. And I think you're going to be surprised. And he had a smiley face. I think you're going to be really surprised. And as it turns out, he evidently got these materials together and made a tattoo machine. You know what is even more, you know what the Christmas present was? He had, he tattooed Daniel, Lucinda, and Chloe over his heart, on his chest. Pretty cool. He fought a chronic disease, battled his whole life since childhood. It just kept him off balance all the time. That's how I mainly knew Erik, was through the love of his mom and dad trying to care for him. And they did great. The illness and all the ineffective attempts and effective attempts, it was a real combination. What never failed was love for him. He was being able to sort of control all the disease a little better, and was writing letters to family and friends. So he was about ready to get out of jail, and he was wanting to start making amends and making repair of some of the relationships. And so he said, Chloe, hey, little sister, this has been the hardest letter to write. I've started over at least 10 times over the past month and a half. I've so much to apologize for and tell you, but I don't want to not be able to say it perfectly. So I'm just going to throw it out there and hope my intent goes through. First and most important, I love you. I always have. You dumbfound me at how easy you seem to conquer the world. For me, it's always been hard knowing what I want and working hard to get it, and you have no problem with the responsibility of rising to the challenge. I'm proud to call you my sister, and continue to catch myself bragging about you and how talented you are to this day. Sorry if I haven't expressed that to you. The point, other than letting you know that I'm proud of you, is to apologize for my immaturity and that my faults have caused you pain. Please believe me that nothing ever done was intended to cause you harm. Then he went on and sort of explained some things that he hadn't talked to her about, and then closed with, I hope and pray that I can regain your trust and friendship with proving myself over time. I love you and miss you dearly. Sorry for all my faults, and continue to wait. Can't wait to see you next Thursday. Love you, bro. What a beautiful example of just how to do repair work, even when, the damage is real severe. Then he wrote a letter to David, and said, "Hey, David, I wanted to take a few minutes to write and thank you for your help and support and prayers for myself and family over the years, but especially lately. I can't express my gratitude not only for all the love for me, but also for being a great friend to my mother and taking care of her when I wasn't there or able. And thanks falls short. Things for me are going better than expected. I'm finally 5 months clean, and I'm finally feeling back to normal. The physical exhaustion and weakness are leaving, and I've begun to get an exercise routine that's fastly restoring my body. Mentally, I'm peaceful and clear. The anxiety of the consequences are all but gone. The days are going very quickly, and I'm finally hopeful for the future. When we sat down before, I remember telling you I was scared I wasn't done with the drugs. For the first time in a long time, I can honestly say I have no desire to go back. Spiritually, I have a long ways to go. But my foundation is built on stone. I never forgot who my Savior is. Two memories that I won't ever forget. It's two things Dan said. First one was when we came back to the house. And in his grief, he just hugged me and said, "We couldn't save him." But he knew who could. And the second thing is, I'm just going to miss him. And we're all going to just miss him.